Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve a very popular interview problem called plus one. So it's today's Leetcode daily problem, and the question actually has been asked in uh, Microsoft and Google. So even though it looks simple, it's very important to understand it properly. So we'll go step by step, and we'll walk through the examples and understand why the logic works. Not just the code and Okay, so let's start diving into the problem. So the problem basically states that it has an array called digits, and it is basically an array of numbers, integers, and each digit represents a number from left to right. So if you see here, it's basically a number from left to right, which is 1 2 3. So it will be 1 2 3 123. Okay, now what we need to do here, we basically need to so basically our task here is to add one number to this. Okay, so if we add one, if we do a plus one to this, then what is going to happen, it will basically return 124. Okay, now if you see the output here, the output is in the same way. So it's returning in the array format. So 1 will be a single index value, 2 will be another value, and 4 will be another value. So we basically need to return the result in the similar format as the input. Okay, so now why can we not convert the array into a number directly? Okay, so the reason behind not converting the array is because the number can be very large and it may not fit inside the normal data types. Now if you see on the right side, the digit length can be equals to 100 or less than 100. Okay, and it is not containing any leading zeros, so there will not be a single array which will start with 0. Okay, so we basically need to think beyond the shortcuts in this problem. So when we basically add the numbers manually, we will always start from the rightmost digit, right? So if the digit becomes 10, then we write 0 and then carry forward 1, right? So that's exactly what we will simulate in the code here. Okay, so let's take an example of this 129. Okay, now if we start from the end, what is going to happen, we will add 1 at the end, and it will be 10. Okay, now if you see, we have 10, so what we will do, we will basically write 0 and carry forward 1. So we have written 0 here and we have carry forwarded 1. So again what we need to do, we basically need to add 2 plus 1, 1 is the carry, and it will be 3, right? So overall the result will be 130. Now we need to basically return 130 in the array format. Okay, so now let's do one thing, let's go to another test case where we will test the edge cases. Okay, and let's say the test case is 999. Okay, now in this case the same logic will work, but in this case, now let's say if we add number 1 to the last one, then what is going to happen, it will basically mark the last one as 0 and we will have carry. Okay, so what is going to happen, we'll do 9 9 and then 0, right? Okay, so we go to the next one, and again what is going to happen, it will be 9 0 and 0 because we are carrying 1 again. Okay, now what is going to happen, the next value will be basically all three will be 0, and at the end we'll have remaining 1. Okay, so this is the carry. Okay, now if you see, we got 3 0 as per the three nines, and we got 1 is carry forward, and at the end the result is 1000, which is basically expected from the solution. Now let's say the logic is very simple here, we basically need to start from the last digit, and if the digit is less than 9, then we basically add 1 and then stop. Okay, now, if the digit is equals to 9, then what we need to do, we will basically make it 0 and we'll move to the left side. Okay. Now, if all the digit becomes 0, then in that case, we will basically add a new one at the front, which we have done here, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. So, we will basically return the digits. Okay. Now, if you see the solution here, the solution basically says that we are given the array digits, and then we are basically looping through the digits from the backside. Okay, from the backside. Okay, so what we are doing here, so we are starting from the last one, and we are checking if the digit value is less than 9, or we can do if it is not equals to 9. Okay, if it is not equals to 9, then we will increment the digit, and at the same time we will return the digit, because we don't need to check if it is less than 9, right? Because we will just increment it, there won't be any carry value. Okay, now if it is not less than 9, it means that it is 9, right? So if it is 9, then we will mark it as 0, because we have a carry now. And in the next part, what we will do, we'll basically create an array, and we'll put a value in front of that. So here, if you see what we have done, we have added the zeros, and then we are adding one after it. Okay, so this is what it is saying. Okay, now what we are doing, so we basically loop from the end. The conclusion will be basically we loop from the end, and if the digit is less than 9, then we are incrementing it and returning it immediately. Okay, if it is 9, then what we are doing, we are making it 0 and continue looping. Okay, now if all the digits are processed. Okay, so if basically all the digits are processed, then what we are doing, we're creating a new array, and we are with basically one extra digit, and we're setting the first value is 1. So if you see, our loop is going from here to here. Okay, this is out of the loop. So once all the nines are converted to 0, we are basically creating another array with the size plus 1, and then we are basically adding 1 in the front, and then we are returning the digit. Okay, so let's go to the lead code, and we have the solution written here. It's written in the same way. So we are doing the loop, we are doing the check if it is not equals to 9. So we'll do, if it is not equals to 9, then we'll basically increment it and the return at the same time. If not, then we'll basically if it is equals to 9, then we are marking that value as 0. And at the end, if we still reach to the end of the array, then we are basically returning the array with adding the value as plus 1. Okay, so this is not required, because by default when we create the array, all the values will be 0. So if we are adding 1 in the front, then it will be considered the same way. Okay, so now if I run the code, yeah, so all the test cases are passed. I'm submitting it now. Okay, so it's submitted. So what will be the time complexity? So if you see, I'm just looping through the array one time. So the time complexity will be n, and I'm creating another array, so the space complexity will be n as well. Okay, so the problem looks very simple, like it's very simple that you just add it and then return the result. You might also think that we can add it, we can convert the result to string and then convert back to array. I mean, that way also you can do, but it's very basically like it will make it complex. But companies like Microsoft, Google, who has asked this question, will basically ask you to check whether you can handle the edge cases or not, whether you understand the number manipulation, and the I mean, least but not the last but not the least uh, point, like you can write the clean code or not, if you can write a readable logic or not. Okay, so if you understand this problem well, then you're building your strong foundation, on the bigger problems. So if this video helped you, please like the video, please subscribe the channel. Thank you, bye bye.